Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you all here. Long time no see, I would almost say, but yeah, too much stuff doing currently in German. So welcome to all the viewers here around the different channels. And surprise, Cyberpunk or CD Projekt brought a new patch out, patch 2.3, and today they introduced it. It will release tomorrow at the 17th of July, 2025. And we will look into it tomorrow a bit as well, I think, if nothing comes into my way. And that leads to... Yeah, most likely we'll look into it in English as well. And that is what I want to say. Look into it in English as well tomorrow. Because, yeah, currently I have a playthrough through Cyberpunk, the German Twitch channel. And there we play with a lot of mods, so they won't be updated. It will take potentially a few days. Hope it does not break the Cyber Vehicle overhaul mod. Otherwise I would have to play without it for some time until it's updated, but I can't imagine else. I think by now I'm almost able to fix it myself, but yeah, that's a different story. So the stream was some hours ago. I wanted to watch it live, but some things got in the way, so here I am. I just came back home not too long ago and had to kind of prepare the stream and start all the channels and so on. So yeah, we will have it this way. I already booted it up. The link for this I can post into the different chats, I think. That's what we will be watching. It's on YouTube. Watch it in 4K resolution. So there's that. And yeah, they have some sound stuff going on. Starts in 3 seconds, chat. Are you ready? I already have seen the patch notes, so I know what is there, but I think it's still interesting to see what will be there. New vehicle quest. Nice. That one. Where? Oh.
Just chill a sec.
Good morning, V.
Yeah, that's the AutoDrive feature. And you also have a taxi cab now that drives you around. And also additional CrstalCoat customization for vehicles that were not able to do that before. New photo mode features. So quite interesting. More to discover. Also AMD FSR 4 is added. The update.
Hello, welcome back in Night City. I know you guys were waiting for this stream to happen, so welcome once again. I'm Amelia Korzyska, I'm a Senior Community Manager here at CD Projekt, and yes, we will talk about 2.3 today. My guests are, as always, my lovely Alicja Kozera.
Hi guys, thank you for having me, as always. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we also have super cool guest Paweł Sasko is joining us again.
The one and only.
Hello, my dears. Great to see you again. I haven't been here for some time, so I'm super excited. We're gonna talk about some new things we cooked for you.
And we have a new face joining us today, so please welcome from Virtuous Game, Adrian.
Hey guys.
No.
Thank you for having me here. I'm super thrilled to be here with you.
Cool.
Yeah. So you guys already saw our mini trailer of the update 2.3. It teased some of the changes, some of the additions that we're giving. I already jumped the gun and announced the date before, but it needed some more time to cook. So it is coming tomorrow to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox.
Yeah, and Switch 2 will also join the family with 2.3 update, but we need a few more hours, few more times, few more days. We'll see. But it's coming, so stay tuned.
Okay, so Switch is delayed. The release for Switch 2.
And it's also coming to one new platform that we've never been at before, Mac.
So yeah, it's
yeah, there's also a Mac release.
But you know, obviously we have the Virtuous team with us today. So if you could maybe remind our viewers,
the Virtuous people are for the Mac port, it seems.
Sure. So
sound is
Virtuous
okay.
is a game development company, and Our main thing is we are helping and supporting other studios to create their game, and we help them with that. And we already did some partnership with Ubisoft, EA Games, Arcane, and many more other studios. And we are super happy to work with you right now on Cyberpunk. And yeah, that's it.
And it's a pleasure really to work with Virtuos. We've been collaborating for some time. This is like a great team, like really talented crew. They work together on us on 2.2, with us on 2.2, and now on 2.3.
Yeah, and shout out to the team, which is probably looking right now live with us.
Okay, they also help him with 2 points.
Today, this stream, we are live with you, so if you have any questions, drop them in the chat, and we will try to answer the ones that we can.
Yeah, we have the big team in the chat, so shout out to all the Reds from the community team and also our moderators, helping to gather the questions, have fun with you guys. So expect some posts, some cool comments here and there, and yeah, like Alisa mentioned, drop the questions in the chat. We also drop patch notes right after the stream, so you can read it after we're done in here.
Okay, so let's start off. We won't keep you here too long. Paweł, let's start with like the main thought between this update. What's the idea?
Yes, so the thing is that with Cyberpunk 2077, we believe that the game is already in a pretty good place, and what we wanted to do is really like give you things that would make you actually feel that it brings enough novelty to the game, it brings some fresh air, and it makes you want to replay the game. In the same time, we want to address some of the requests that you guys had, so throughout this meeting today, we'll be outlining some of those. And a lot of them will be focused around vehicles and traversing the world. I'm not going to tell you more because I don't want to spoil it. We have a lot more details to tell you. We believe that this update will actually make the game feel to play even better. And there's like a couple features that I'm really particularly excited about and cannot wait to tell you more.
Nice. So let's start with something that everyone already knows, CrstalCoat and twin tone. So maybe let's remind everyone how those work, and then we can talk a little bit more about those.
So the twin tone tech was introduced in 2.2 as a partnership from Rayfield with other brands, luxurious, sporty brands of cars. And basically with 2.3, we expanded this. So right now, you can customize even more vehicles. You can customize more.
The CrstalCoat thing is for for changing the colors of specific cars. Originally only Rayfield, as he said.
This feature, which is available for lower-end vehicles like the Mamai, the Galena, of course. So right now, you can customize more than 23, even more cars than before, which means you can customize almost all the cars of the game, basically, with a few exceptions.
Amazing. I've been waiting for a pink Mai for almost 5 years.
That's actually true. Like I remember a couple times getting messages about like, hey, can we do something to customize the Mai? So now.
I mean, our next step is weaponized Mai.
We also use the Mai in the playthrough.
So when it comes to the lore part, because I like touching that just to make sure that like every component in our game is actually part of the world building. That's really important for us because we believe that every really part of the game is telling a story. So in here, as Adrian introduced to you, like we believe that at this point, it doesn't make sense for the lower end cars to just have partnership with Rayfield. So that's why we introduced a hacked version of the CrstalCoat. And you'll see it maybe in some of the footage that we are rolling out when we'll be watching on the preview. And of course, hopefully you'll download the update and play with it. And you will see, that we found ways how we can enable that feature for many more vehicles while in the same time staying lore accurate. And that's really, really important for us. And I think from a perspective of our intention, actually right now, every vehicle in the game that doesn't contain it, doesn't support it, is already not supposed to. So for instance, like the Nomad vehicles are a great example, right? So those vehicles are like highly tuned by Nomads, therefore they're not supposed to be really having all this like high-tech, like smart paint jobs and so on, because it doesn't really fit, right? So what we try to do, we try to make sure that the whole like palette of cars, you know, whole buffet of cars that we deliver to you as a player, they all have differences, right? Some of them are weaponized, some have some have rockets, some have Gatling guns, some have CrstalCoat, some have twin tone, some have none, all kinds of versions, and hopefully you can find something for you.
Okay, so to sum up, we have like 32 vehicles.
Twin tone
that
is copying
can
the
use
existing color
twin tone
scheme.
and CrstalCoat,
Ah,
right?
here it is.
Yeah.
That's in my mind.
Yeah, we will
You know
show
it.
you guys a
It's
little
a lot
bit of
slower
gameplay,
here.
how it actually works for my Alice's favorite car.
Yes, finally. But what is amazing, you can see that it's actually a cracked technology via the UI.
Correct. Yes, it's actually like we try to like pay as much attention as we can to those small details. I know that our players love that stuff, so we really made sure that it feels a little cracked, a
Okay,
little
that's cool.
glitchy, you know, at how the UI acts and so on. So you will see it.
Yeah, as always, I really appreciate those lore
this car,
bits that you put
we
into,
also have modified
put
in the
into
German
those features
playthrough.
that you actually think about it, how it would work in the world of Cyberpunk. So new cars is one thing, but also
Oh,
we've
well,
been
this little glitch
adding
effect
some
at the
more
top.
paint jobs. And I know that you don't remember the exact numbers. I have the cheat sheet here, yeah? So we have 205 generic paint jobs and 168 unique paint jobs added to the traffic.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, Virtuous team has been really busy making sure that you can really make your vehicles customized and really feel,
Twin
you know,
Ghost
that you can do pretty
Great.
much whatever you feel like it. And there's more to it even, which we will speak about in a moment.
Yeah, the goal was to really let you guys scan whatever vehicle you find cool into the traffic and, you know, steal it in some way to steal the paint job, apply on your own vehicle and roll with it.
Which
Yeah.
one is your favorite? Like paint job or?
I love this Sion actually, like the one that we are seeing right now, I believe. Yeah, exactly. Like those are amazing looking. To be honest, I really
This
like
car was
driving
requested a
those-
lot.
those
Was not
vehicles that are
originally
a
as a
bit
car
odd.
available
So,
for the
you
player.
know, the Demiurge, for instance, like I think our FF06 fans will know what I mean. So, you know, things like this. And of course, I think we should point this out. Actually, the motorcycles.
Yeah, no,
That's also pretty cool.
also are part
Motorcycles
of the
also.
batch. You can customize them just as you can do with cars, so that's pretty new.
Exactly, and all the motorcycles also got the updated UI. Now it's actually corresponding properly.
Bit worried
with,
that
you know,
the,
shape of the vehicle and so on. That
rim
makes this feature really
the
feel
tire
complete.
rim color
That's amazing.
Yeah,
doesn't
actually
work anymore.
Full set of cars, full set of colors. I'm actually jealous of V. I would love to have this feature in real world, like different car every day. But unfortunately,
Maybe in 2077.
maybe.
Okay, so we pretty much can make any vehicle to look like any vehicle, but we also have new vehicles that we're adding in this patch. Can you maybe tell us a bit more about those new cars?
Yeah, we've got 3 new cars and 1 new motorcycle, one of them being the Yaiba Sumimaru, which you might be aware of and you might know, which is coming from the comic book Kickdown.
Exactly. I wanted to point this out. Like you see it here on the screen. So this is a Kickdown comic book. Actually, like we do badass comic books, by the way. If you didn't read them, really try it. I love them. But this is the Kickdown, as Adrian said, and we actually included a little of a hint for you guys if you maybe paid attention. So we go to the last page of that comic book. There is actually a Yaiba Sumimaru picture that we included here.
I think there were no
Already some time
Yaiba
ago,
cars
just to,
in the
to give
game
you a
yet.
little of a
If I'm not
foreshadowing
completely
and,
mistaken. I
see
could be
how
mistaken though.
much you're paying attention to what we are doing in various
At least no
media.
super
I know
sports
that some of
car.
you are. I didn't see this on Reddit though, so I'm a little disappointed, I have to say. You know, Reddit bunch. Guys, you need to really pay more attention because we are doing a lot of stuff that you are missing.
So, you know, it's not enough to just follow the game. You have to follow everything, comic books,
Yeah,
TV
absolutely.
shows, toys, anything.
Yeah, and if you actually want to read that comic book, you'll have the link in the description on YouTube, so you can go and check it out. And there is a comment on Twitch, !Dark Horse, so you can see it for yourself. But coming back to the cars.
Sure. As you may have seen seconds before, you also have.
I won't tell you how old
truck,
I'm in
called the
2077.
Chevrolet Legatus Aquila,
Correct.
which is an armored truck. So first of its kind. And
That's
you
a new
right
motorcycle.
now have the new motorcycles, which is the Yaiba Muramasa, which is the first customizable motorcycles also.
Yep.
And the fourth vehicle is the Caliburn Mordred, Rayfield Caliburn Mordred.
Correct.
So
Yes.
it's also the first vehicle, the first sports car to be armored. So it's quite
And
wild to
weaponized.
play.
Correct, correct. So like with each vehicle in this update, we have tried to do something a little different and a little new. So as we said, Yaiba Semimaru is the first car from Yaiba. And you can see their design in the way how the car is actually crafted. We are really proud of that design. Our vehicle art team did an amazing job, and our concept artists working on this one. So that's one, but all of the vehicles actually that Adrian talked about, they introduce something new. And Aquila, for instance, that big ass truck is the one that is covered like with graffitis and so on, because we were looking for this, I would say, punk sort of vibe and energy, you know, in that truck. In the same time, it's also weaponized, right? It's the first weaponized truck that we added. It feels pretty badass to just like go through, you know, enemies, police with this gigantic truck. So I hope you'll try it out.
And the Caliburn is Yorinobu's car, right?
Yes, and there's a little of a story connected with that, and maybe
Oh,
now we
okay,
can
that is
mention the
cool.
quests. actually.
Yes, because it's not you cannot just buy them. You have to
You have to actually
make some effort.
yes, do something.
These
Exactly.
new vehicles are introduced through new quest, with the small exception, which is for the truck, which is
Correct.
directly available through the AutoFixer, Muammar's platform, to selling bikes and motorcycles and cars. The others have small quests that you have to play with to unlock these new vehicles. So for the Sumimaru, you'll have to finish the side quests of River and Claire's side quests. For the Muramasa, you'll have to buy at least one Yaiba product into the AutoFixer, and have at least 3 vehicles into both through the AutoFixer too.
And all those triggering conditions, you don't have to like take notes right now, even though that would be fun. But you can check them in patch notes. There.
Yes,
so
yes.
you know whatever what Adrian said right now, you have it written down there. You can take a look, so don't worry. We also made sure that it's pretty intuitive to trigger them, hopefully, so you shouldn't have too much issues to actually get to the quest that will lead you to unlocking those new vehicles and have fun with them.
So a question from the chat. Tomahawk is asking, do this new vehicle quest count towards 100% completion?
No, they don't. Actually, like all the new sort of content that we've been adding post-release, because as I understand, by 100% you're referring to achievements. That's at least that's how I understand your question. So if you mean that, no, we are not changing the achievements post-release. That can be incredibly confusing for the players and for all the guides that are out there online. We don't want to get you guys be confused and feel that you missed something and you cannot trigger the achievement. That's the intentional thing on our side, that it is
Motorcycle in the game
additional
was a
content,
Tron
after
reference.
all, added post-release, so it doesn't count to the achievement. That being said, if you want to be a real
Question,
player,
I think
you know,
no,
you have to
but
play
the
it.
new
I
one
mean,
looks a bit
otherwise you
Tronic,
cannot say
Tron-like.
100%.
Okay, well, actually, the new cars also, because they are unique, right? In a way, you can get them, in a way they look, like, again, the first car by Yaiba. Will they support twin tone and CrstalCoat, or are they excluded?
The Sumimaru, the Muramasa, and the Mordred are supporting customization. Only the truck does not support it.
Exactly, and that's by design, that's connected to its lore. And if you go into the game and read a little of the note that we left on the AutoFixer page of the history of the vehicle, you understand why. Again, as I mentioned, we always try to make sure that each vehicle has a history, there is a reason why it is in the game, and it provides you with a different variety of how you play and so on.
Awesome.
So next new thing that we are adding into this update is something called AutoDrive. What is it, guys?
Hey, the AutoDrive is the
You mean the
new
original
functionality
Tron
you've got,
film or the
on all your
one
vehicles,
from the
motorcycles
2010s?
and cars included, and that lets you basically drive around without touching the wheel. You can choose any point on the map you want. It also drives you automatically to your destination of quest or with a secondary point. And yeah, it goes into the traffic and it follows its way. It takes you where you ask it to go.
Exactly, and you just saw it on this footage a moment ago. V goes in that pose that in Polish we call zimny łokieć, which means cold elbow for non-Polish speakers in the chat. So V just goes into relaxed pose. Sometimes even Johnny spawns to accompany you. You can drive around like this, of course, with the motorcycles. You keep your hands on a wheel because it will
Right,
be too
there's
dangerous
also
to
a
drive.
camera, cinematic
would
camera
say.
No
perspective.
Safety first.
Exactly, and I really love driving like this. It's just much more relaxing way, but there's more to it, so we'll speak about it more. You can see, of course, on the left side you have the UI that is basically showing this new feature. So think about it like in our world, you would get like your CarPlay or AutoPlay or whatever car you're driving would get an update. You would download a software update, and that software update makes some of the software changes in your car. That's what happened in 2077. New feature was just shipped to all the vehicles. They all downloaded it, tried to use it. Important thing, I think, Adrian, what we should point out here is the fact that you need to be on a road, right?
Yeah, you have to. If you try to activate it in a barren wasteland, it won't work. You have got to be on a road at least. And the AutoDrive support 2 modes. So the first standard one, which takes you to the point you set into the map. And the second one, which is a wandering mode, which means that the vehicle will drive endlessly, just for your own pleasure of cruising.
So you just explore.
You can cruise through Night City and take a
You
look.
just drive, you listen to your favorite radio station,
Cool.
and just chill.
We actually saw also something super cool on the footage that was just shown. It was the cinematic camera. So you can basically record a music video with the cinematic camera, right?
Yeah, it's an option you can activate while you are driving, and it cycles through different camera angles, so you can see your car, the city, and in a cinematic way that was never made there before.
Yeah, and that was actually inspired by a lot of videos that you guys made of Cyberpunk 2077 on YouTube, like videos like 4 hours driving in a city, and things like this. So we thought about like, okay, like people love being in that world and really being immersed in it. So we were, talking with Adrian and thinking like, okay, how we can actually give it to the players in a very like diegetic way, very real way, immersive way. And this is from where the idea of a cinematic camera came from. And what I love doing is like put on like, let's say jazz music, put on the free roaming mode, as Adrian mentioned. And that happens, by the way, if you have no quest point located on your map. If nothing is located and you just press a button to go into AutoDrive, it will automatically assume that we want to free roam, right? Otherwise, you will just go to whatever point you're pointing it at. And I just love this moment when I can drive through the city. There's like cool weather, cinematic camera showing me various, camera shots and so on. Weather is changing, jazz is playing, and I can play that. And now, guys, instead of watching YouTube with all those recordings, you can just put the game, on a second screen and have it run infinitely, drive around the city forever if you want to.
And
If until it crashes.
Everyone now can freely record their Vs traveling around. So, influencer job is up there for grabs, Everyone can do that
Exactly.
now.
Exactly.
I actually have an important question because we talked about the cinematic camera that, we can make videos, really cool videos now. What about photo mode in that mode? So can I use photo mode during free roam and take a cool picture?
Of course, it works perfectly. You can take your own pic of V driving into the vehicle and with his elbow on the door, and it works. Yeah.
That's very Polish. Okay, but okay. So if V doesn't feel like driving their own car or their own motorcycle, there's always the Lamain, right?
Yeah, if AutoDrive, even for you, it's too much work, you've got the Delamain. So unlocked after you finish the Delamain side quest. You'll receive a text message from Delamain providing you with this new service. And you can call him anytime to make a cab appear. You open and you select your destination and you're being driven there. for a small fee, and that's it.
I really appreciate that we will get more of Delamain.
That was
in
such
the
a cool
game.
feature.
Exactly. So in patch 2.1, we have introduced the subway. In patch 2.3, we have introduced the taxi. So as you can see, all the updates that we are doing, we were doing right now are focused on things that make the world feel more alive, more immersive, more real, really. And we felt that actually like this missing component to really fulfill the Delamain fantasy is really the fact that he can just drive you around. Adrian also implemented the fact that you have Johnny sometimes show up next to you so you can like, you know, chill together like buddies and drive around with the Delamain. So this feature is of course, you know, fully supporting everything else that we talked about before here. So you can listen to the music in Delamain as we spoke about.
Yep.
You can also use the cinematic camera as well during that. So we, as you can see, like when we are introducing new things, we make sure that they all really work well in that ecosystem of the features, and they all like feel as intuitive as possible for you as a player. So whatever you would imagine be there, it actually works in a believable fashion. And again, Delamain also needs a road. Right, the same as AutoDrive, right? So have that in mind, just to be on, because we need you to be on navigation data. Speaking like a game developer, we need you to be on navigation data so we can send that car for you.
Awesome. Is there any time that Delamain or AutoDrive will not be available to use apart from, you know, not being on the road?
No, it's pretty much AutoDrive is available from the get-go at any point, and Delamain, yeah, just you've got to finish the side quest, and that's it.
Exactly, and that is also in patch notes in case anyone forgets. You know how to unlock it; it's there.
Yeah, we have all the details for you. They will be available after the stream. It seems on one hand like the future, like 2077, but on the other hand, we already are starting to develop this technology. So it's amazing to see what could be.
Okay, so we talked about new cars, we talked about AutoDrive and taxis. So we have the vehicle part behind us, and now let's go back to my favorite feature, the photo mode, because we're adding so much cool shit in the photo mode, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got we implemented a lot of new stuff and expanded also existing features. So for example, you've got right now a new tab called time to implement change of time and weather. You can change the time of the day, and you can change the weather around the scene during the photo mode to take even better picture and control a bit better the environment. You also have a feature to frame skip to get that perfect action shot.
A lot of features
during,
from the
during your
appearance menu mod.
And of course, we implemented new NPCs. A lot more new NPCs. 27, I think.
Yeah, I believe.
And among them, like you can see, the Castle Twins. We've got Brendan, we've got Dexter.
Yeah, I love Brendan, guys. By the way, I cannot wait. You make some photo mode pictures with Brendan in there. I thought that it was missing. Also, like some of other player favorites, like Rita Wheeler, and yeah, of course Aurora and so on. So we'll see what you guys come up with.
And that's not all. For almost all of this NPCs, you've got alternate outfits.
Correct.
New outfits for Johnny, for Judy, for all the main characters mostly, and
yes. Yeah. So if you saw like a character in the quest during our game having like a cool fit, and you would like to have a picture here, now you have access to it. In most cases, because there might be a minor exceptions, but in most cases we have access to all the appearances that we have used.
Yeah, I think what's the coolest thing that we're doing with the photo mode is like we listen to the feedback of our virtual photography community. We try to implement what they are asking for. So this is really cool. I think now the photo mode is complete. I'm pretty sure it's not. We can still probably, you know, squeeze.
We can find something to add.
Yeah.
So if there's still anything that you would like to see in photo mode, let us know. So, you know, maybe we can convince this too to actually maybe make another patch for photo mode.
It's the most feature-heavy photo mode ever made in video games. There's also like a couple other things that we didn't mention, like we made like numerous stickers, numerous frames. Actually, they have like different vibes. You can have your life puffs there included, like cutouts of favorite characters. You can make like things feeling like and looking like a postcard from Night City. It will feel like it. So with our artists from Virtuos, we have tried to like tune in and find like different sensibilities that you may have and different vibes of things that you want to create. You know, there's a little things that feel like comic books. Like one of the coolest things that I like, we added some of those, I would say, famous quotes from 2077 that you can add them now. So like you look like a cut of fuckable meat and things like this, definitely there. So, you know, it was definitely important. So there's bunch of those there. So if you're like creating pictures like this, you can add them and create interesting context, you know. And there's of course all of those emotional quotes as well. You will find it all.
I'm curious what our community is going to come up with. But that's not all, right? We saw at the footage that we had the improved light system. We did some changes to that, right?
Yeah, we improved a lot the ergonomic to control the different lights you can use that we implemented into 2.2. So it's much easier to brighten up your scenes. So yeah, we improved that. And we also right now have new natural poses for V, for all the new NPCs, and the new IK system tied to the look at option.
Oh yeah.
That is actually really powerful, by the way. Yeah, I really love that. I really love that.
You can create a lot of stuff with that, and that's insane.
Yeah, so the way it works is like you pick a pose, and then you can basically choose a look at, and look at is like, let's say, like directionally where do you want to position your character, but in the same time, it keeps the pose that you've chosen. Therefore, it creates a lot more variety that you can create with those tools. So we just want to make sure that you can create shots.
I guess that makes it look more natural.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then also I saw a cool tab with all the color thingies where you could change color balance and create basically your own filters, right?
Welcome.
Yeah, with color balance, I think we've got 3 new hue bars, so you can control in much more depth than before the tonalities, the colors of your scenes, the saturation. So for all of the aficionado of photography, it's going to be very useful to do it right into the tool and not in Photoshop afterward.
Exactly.
Awesome. Wow. What will we do with this photo mode?
I mean, you know, we like to do contests now and again, and we might have something planned for you. So, you know, again,
we might.
Keep your eyes open. There will be cool swag to get, and yeah, we cannot wait to see what you guys come up with.
Yeah. So now we have some more of the technical stuff that Technologia, yes. So there was one thing that a lot of people were commenting about and were requesting. FSR 3.1 frame generation is coming in this update.
Yes, exactly. And there's we actually collaborated with our partners from AMD. That was like quite important for me to set it up, and they were like a wonderful partner. We worked together on FSR 3.1 frame generation and on actually FSR 4, my dears. So Cyberpunk 2077 from this point on will support FSR 4. However, there's an important note here to say that this will come in a later date together with the AMD's driver update, right? So please be aware of this. And of course, FSR 4 works for Radeon 9000 generation cards. Have that please in mind. Like you have to have a proper hardware to use it. But it will be there.
Yeah, so FSR 3.1 tomorrow together with the patch, and 4 once the AMD drivers come out. But that's not everything. We have Intel XS 2.0 and frame generation as well. I think we've done some stuff with frame generation in options in general, or some new settings.
So yes, so this is just yet another one. So we want to support as many new technologies as we can, just to really treat Cyberpunk as a showcase for all kinds of technologies that are there and that you're looking forward to. So we actually collaborated with Intel to implement XS 2.0 and XS 2.0 frame generation, and it's coming in update 2.3 to Cyberpunk. And yeah, I hope you're going to experiment with it, see what are the results, you know, what looks better for you, because like again, it's at this point Cyberpunk supports so many different options that I hope you are going to have a lot of fun choosing and checking what works well with what, you know, what gives you a better picture quality and what fits best your needs as a player.
Yep.
But it's still not everything. I still have HDR 10 plus gaming on my list.
Exactly. So that's that's yet another thing. HDR 10 plus gaming. This is something that was semi-supported before, and now we have done it properly. So you can, when you have a proper monitor, and of course, like I encourage you to really check how to properly set it up. You have to enable it. You have to have a proper display to be able to see it. But yes, it actually also works in Cyberpunk now.
Cool. So those were the things for PC players, but we don't forget the console players, of course. We have VRR on consoles as well.
Correct, yes. So right now, Cyberpunk will support properly the VRR. Before, we had a version on Xbox of that, but we revisited the topic, made sure that it's done properly on consoles.
Awesome, thank you so much. If you understand any of that, good for you. You can just play with the options on your PC and find the best options for you. Those are really cool things to enhance your gaming experience. And one more thing that we need to talk about that we actually announced yesterday, announced the date yesterday, is that Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition is coming to Macs.
Yes.
So it's, I like to
When
play
it comes to the
cherry on
Apple
top of
device,
this.
Yes.
you're talking about, so it's a bit
We
difficult
actually
to
have some
catch
gameplay
like a
prepared
moment
for
to
you,
talk myself.
to showcase how it works, how it looks on Macs.
Yeah, variable
And yet, don't
refresh
forget,
rate
the
for
game
people
will be available
wondering.
through Mac App Store, GOG, Steam, and Epic Games shop. If you already have the game on any of these platforms, you don't have to buy it again.
Cyberpunk devs
You can
driving the
just get it
technology
for
that
free
will
and download
enslave
it
us
on your Mac,
eventually. Irony
so
of
don't
history.
worry. And yeah, the game supports features like ray tracing, frame generation, HDR tuned for Apple XDR displays. And there's many more.
Yes, I mean,
Pavel?
there's a couple more things, of course. So, as if you are like a user of the Mac, what do you expect? You expect probably a support for Magic Mouse. That's of course done. We also support full cross progression. So, if you've been playing on any console or any PC or really anything on Switch, then you can use that save and actually continue on Mac now, which is great. I actually played this game across a couple different platforms now, so it's really fun. It also supports spatial audio, so if you have like your earpods, it will properly detect your ears, which is also really cool. And we collaborated with Apple together on this version of the game to just make sure that it actually squeezes out the best performance we can give you and the best visuals.
Yeah. So guys, we know a lot of you have been asking about the Mac version. It's gonna be here finally tomorrow. Keep in mind, it's for Apple Silicon Macs, so the one with the Apple chipset, and it's 60 gigabytes plus, so
Yeah.
at least 16 gigabytes.
Correct.
All the detailed system requirements are also posted on our socials on the support page, so make sure to check it out. Just to make sure that your Mac can run Cyberpunk 2077.
All right. So I think we went through all of the biggest changes, the biggest additions. Maybe let's sum up it very quickly. So we have enhanced CrstalCoat and
Yes.
and twin tone. It's almost all of the cars right now, the ones that make sense, of course. We have 4 new cars and some additional quests to get them. On top of that, we have AutoDrive.
Yes. I think that's going to be my favorite way to travel. We have AutoDrive, we have taxi system for you.
With the cinematic camera?
With the cinematic camera, with the photo mode option. So you can make videos, shots whenever you're driving and you feel like, you know, it's a good time to take a selfie. Don't do it in your real car though. It's not safe. We have a lot of technical features coming as well. Like, you know, you heard FSR 3.1, FSR 4 later this year. So, you know, there's quite a lot of things happening. And of course, photo mode. And of course, photo mode contest.
Yes.
Do we have any questions?
Yes, I was just wondering if people had some questions, and yeah, we have Sun Servant, for example, asking how does AutoDrive behave in traffic? Like, are we endlessly waiting at red light? Does it follow like traffic rules?
It follows traffic rules. It stops at red light, like a good citizen.
In Night City, good citizen.
Exactly.
Unlike all the Vs that are driving around.
Yes. That being said, like we put like some work in to make sure there's not a frustrating experience, right? So because like as I understand the subtext in your question is it gonna be fucking frustrating to wait? Well, hopefully it won't. You know, we paid attention to this and made sure that it actually goes smoothly, but it follows the traffic lights because otherwise you would be constantly crashing your car into other cars if it wouldn't. So that's kind of what happens when you drive not paying attention, you know. So it naturally has to follow the.
So like
so
it's like when I'm driving.
That it's not annoying, that it feels fluid.
The opposite of what I'm doing.
But at the times when you'll see it stop and so on, in most cases it is actually because of the lights.
Okay, so on top of that, another question about AutoDrive. Digirov is asking, when you set up automatic driving, aren't you at risk of being attacked?
Yeah, definitely you can. And if you are in combat, the AutoDrive feature disengage, so you can undo this before continuing to cruising. So yeah, it just stops the AutoDrive if you're being attacked.
Okay, so you can take charge of your car.
Correct. And with Adrian, we did a little magic behind the scenes to make sure that if you're in a free roaming mode and you're listening to your jazz or whatever, and you're like enjoying the rain in Night City, that they won't bust your ass nonstop. Okay, so it's let's say the combat can happen because like again, it's a hostile environment, dystopian world, and so on. But we know like that you guys sometimes just want to have good time in Night City driving, so we didn't want to make it annoying. So we have fine-tuned it a little. Again, if you drive into the combat, well, no wonder it will start combat, like it will disengage, you'll have to fight. But outside of that, most of the time, you'll actually be safe just driving around so that you can really enjoy it. Because that's what that feature really is for, to stay in that world, to soak it in.
So you can just chill in Night City.
Chill in Night City,
yes. That's amazing. I think this is it. Like, if you have any more questions about the patch, you can always check out the patch notes that will be published on our website right after this stream, and also just check out the patch tomorrow.
Yeah, the patch is actually
Yeah, we will definitely
tomorrow.
check it out tomorrow.
So
I
also stay
think
tuned
if nothing
for
gets in my
the
way.
official announcement that hey, it's already live. We'll let you know. And yeah, so remember the patch comes live tomorrow on PCs, Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 5, Mac as well, and Switch 2 will follow
soon after.
Yeah, that's right. So, is there anything that you would like to say to our community at the end of this stream?
Well, I'm super happy to be here with you. It's a privilege, and yeah, I hope you will enjoy this content, all this content for this patch, and yeah, go rogue.
Thank you so much, Pavel. How about you?
My chums, I mean, I love how excited you were about 2.3, like this all speculation and so on. It was great. I watched every video you guys made. I love your imagination. It's awesome. You know, it's honestly an insane pleasure. It's and a privilege, as Adrian said, to have a community that fucking gives a shit. You know, it's really, really, really valuable for us because we do it for you, right? That is what we do it for. Like me and Adrian, we can cook a patch. If no one will care, then, you know, it's just disheartening. So it's super awesome that I see your excitement. You know, maybe when you don't get everything right, you know, with your predictions, that's okay. You know, you'll learn. You'll get into it. You'll get better. You know, a lot of you is actually quite on point. Anyway, enjoy it, my dears. Much love. It was really, really an amazing time to work on this, and I hope you have fantastic time with this patch.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching us, and thank you for playing the game. It's always amazing, and it's really difficult to imagine that it's almost been 5 years that we've been doing it. Like, I mean, we've been doing it even longer, but with you playing,
we'll get to the 5th anniversary.
Yeah, I know.
When the time is right. So yeah, once again, thank you, Pavel, thank you, Adrian,
That's actually a good point. 5th anniversary.
Thank you,
10th of
everyone on the other side of the
December,
screen
I think.
for joining us as well, for sending the questions, your comments. If you have any questions left, like Alicia mentioned, let us know on social media, on our forums, Discord, wherever you can find us, and let us know how you enjoyed the patch tomorrow. And on that note, me and Alicia will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
See you guys. As always, it was a pleasure.
Jajba.
Just chill a sec.
Seems to be Yorinobu's Delamain? Delamain, Rayfield? Sullivan? Just curious what's going on with that one. Oh yeah, there are these features, chat. What are you saying? Very cool, in my opinion. I'm a bit worried that all the stuff here, kind of all the vehicle stuff damages the vehicle overhaul mod. Cool track, by the way, from the DLC. So yeah, I hope you could hear the talking properly. Nobody complained about the sound and the volume and stuff, so there's that. But very interesting patch. It comes out tomorrow, 17th July. The problem is mods will all be broken for some time until the modders update the utility stuff. I'm very curious about the new quest. So what we could do, chat, is kind of prepare this. We'll just maybe start Cyberpunk. We could load an old save file. We have to kind of give V some money to buy the cars. I would use my... I've already completed everything V. Well, the other one is, yeah, we're not far enough into the quests and stuff. So, testing it out. Tomorrow will be maybe on the old character, which is, I think, cool. Very curious. I already made a backup of Cyberpunk, by the way. Because, obviously, I... Patch 2.21, because I might need to switch between both patches back and forth for a moment until the mods are upgraded for 2.3. But yeah, very excited to see all of this. It was a very interesting. So if we look here at the beginning of the trailer, they said kind of a few informations here. And I've jumped back again. Did it say Jaiba? Yeah. This is a new car from inside. It also says here Jaiba. As I said in the stuff, they in the interview. What did they say? They say they never had a Jaiba car in the game yet, at least not for the player. And I'm also not aware of anyone of one. We know that the name Jaiba appears in the game here and there a few times. So that's kind of interesting. It also looked pretty cool. That's a new one here. I forgot what the name is. We will figure it out. This is the Jaiba Masamune. This reminds me a bit of Tron for the most part. So in case Dark Meeking is still there. Yeah, that reminds me a bit of Tron. That makes sense. You only had to make the tires glow in a way, but... And maybe somebody makes a mod for that. Who knows? It will be a bit difficult maybe to change car colors now, and some mods might break that it allowed you to kind of switch between different car models, if that makes sense. I'm a bit curious how the new CrstalCoat system in this regard will work versus how stuff worked previously. Curious what kind of work has to be done there. So, very interesting. But this is a new motorcycle they will add. We have seen the car there a moment ago. I assume here, because this here looks like a Caliburn that is kind of armored, an armored up version of a Caliburn. It might say from the front side Arasaka. I assume this is Yorinobu Arasaka's Caliburn, if I understood this correctly. Definitely have the Rayfield logo here. And then, yeah, we also have the AutoDrive. AutoDrive might be a very cool feature, to be honest. We have the Taxicab that kind of brings you... Here we see my can now change color. with the new CrstalCoat, and then a lot of photo mode features. There is an Akira motorcycle in the game, and funnily enough, it's called Kusanagi, which is the protagonist of Ghost in the Shell. But it's also red. I'm not sure if I can show it to you in a moment. This is actually pretty cool. Pose, look at camera customization, head. Yeah, and then you can kind of select the body part and move it around. That's pretty cool. This is Idris Elba, by the way. That's actually funny. This Idris Elba, this is his character from the DLC. That is Solomon Reed. And this is Alex, also from the DLC, also an agent. They now work together. And this is, I assume, the V. Or is this Somi? This could be Somi, actually. Is that no, that's Somi. Well. I know, no, don't worry. Don't worry. If you haven't played the game, you can't know it. It's just kind of, the reference already exists. I should have taken, wait a minute, maybe I can do this. I had not much time to, first of all, I have trouble speaking, as you noticed. Okay. The reason for this is... Does it work? It works. I had not the time to make a decent thumbnail for it. Now I can kind of... change the thumbnail of the YouTube stream in a way. But yeah, it's in my opinion a pretty cool patch that they did there. A lot of features for free patch that they put out 5 years after release, so that's kind of cool, I have to admit. Can't complain about this. I should have considered that they literally implemented almost any reference from every Cyberpunk franchise that existed here, potentially. We do it like this. You maybe change the thumbnail to this or something, I don't know. A bit difficult. What to make. There was also a Night Rain update. Already downloaded it. So I didn't do a backup of the Night Rain game. Okay, this I have saved this. I can close this. And close this. Photoshop. I can also close. Okay, one moment, chat. Back and doing stuff in a moment. What's interesting in this regard? First of all, I want to update the thumbnail to kind of reflect the new patch thing here. So we have it done. So all YouTube folks, there's a new thumbnail. Don't have to think too much about it. Any questions in chat? Otherwise, I would suggest we look into the game for a moment. Oh, mod settings got an update. That's unusual. Just saw an update one of the mods I'm using on the base mods. .19. Okay, they did some change there. Very interesting. There will be a lot of modding updates, so yeah, we have to update also my modding side. I have to document with all the modding stuff in. I have to update that as well. One moment, it is asking me stuff. Appearance unlocker. Very curious about all the stuff that gets updated. So chat. In the meantime, I try to start Cyberpunk in the background while talking to you guys for a moment. So what were your impressions of the showcase here? Like I said, I find it very impressive that they add so much stuff for the game, and it will be fun to experiment with it a little bit. Especially, I'm curious about the new quests that we got, which is pretty cool, I think, to have those. And well, I have to also think to maybe make a little overview video or something like that. I'm not sure yet. We'll potentially tinker out something. Fortunately, I'm not there on Sunday, so my time is a bit limited when it comes to produce something like this. So I have to figure something out there, chat. I have to scroll down a lot. Why do I have to scroll down? According to my information, this here should be on the other character, the current save. Curious if something is broken here or not. We will find out in a moment. Hello. Well, that's unusual. Ah, now it loads. Okay, for a moment I thought it crashed, but it did not. We will get a lot of messages, I think, here at the start, simply because... Okay. A bit surprised it loads so slowly. That's really unusual. Here we have the Night City Interactions mod, giving us some hints. Yeah, well, we have a lot of mod stuff installed. We take the fastest way down, which is fine. And yeah, the motorcycle. Yeah, the motorcycle, as mentioned, is already in the game. here it is, the Kusanagi. I think it looks more similar than to the Akira motorcycle. First of all, it's also red. It's called Kusanagi CTX 3X. Yeah, don't worry. I think it's not 100%, but it's pretty close, I would say. And there's also the mod called Neon Rims Color mod. There you can, for example, put what's the button for it? This one. You can also have glowing tires. It's a mod currently, so it doesn't work. Is CrstalCoat available for it? Oh. No, it is actually possible. The problem is this mod might mess with the mod for the colors of the stuff. You could also make it green, I think. Some motorcycle already have CrstalCoat. Now it looks different, I guess. This is exactly this feature they talked about. This CrstalCoat. I think the Yaiba only has from a reset and put it back. Doesn't mess. You can also change the tire lights with that. You don't need to use a mod, but I think the mod is kind of more user-friendly in my opinion. Interestingly, in my German Let's Play thing of this game here, I pretty much never play drive around with a motorcycle. But yeah, that's the Kusanagi. And this is from Yaiba, so there are actually motorcycles from Yaiba in the game. But I thought about cars when I said there are no Yaiba vehicles. There are motorcycles from Yaiba in the game, but no cars. There will be a Yaiba car now available as well. And a new motorcycle from them as well. So yeah, that works. Pretty curious how this might work. Strong. What other things we got? So let me just see. Not sure if I have the cars. Yeah, for example, the Colby C125, which I heavily modified. Let me see, where is it? Somewhere there. So here the CrstalCoat is red. If I hold Y, you can see the icon there at the bottom left. It doesn't work. It says error. Error technology not supported. This will change, it seems, with the new patch. So you can also customize these cars. There is a mod for this. The vehicle customizer. I could, for example, say I want this one. So here you can select in this mod all the different skins that are in the game available and just switch how the car looks. Alternatively, you have this mod here and the appearance menu mod, and there you could also change how the car might look and give them any color you want. So it seems now this is available for all the cars in a glitched version. Then they talked about twin tone. That is this feature. Basically, if I see this car and say, yeah, I want this unique color for my car, I can kind of steal it. I just need now a car where I could, in theory, at least apply it. So, for example, what is it called? The Herrera Outlaw. You take the normal one. I'm not sure if the wheeler can also change colors. Not sure what happened there exactly, but I think our car spawned inside a car. Maybe that one here. now that we got a car, generic color schemes, I can now click on this, press enter, and this from the car I just scanned, and then the color changes to that car. I could also have to find now a car with like unique color scheme or something. Here it's also unique. It costs a bit of cash to get those. Okay, don't ask me what's going on here.
Watch out.
Okay, we would have to find another outlaw. Not all color code combinations or unique stuff is available for every car. Except for the generic ones, I think you have more options. Now we have to find another person driving our little sports car here. Really, I don't find anybody driving it, so it's a bit difficult to show off when it's... Here we have one. That's generic color scheme though. That's a unique one. You see, well, we have at least got this one. Always difficult. Classical, in German we say Vorführ effect. No car of the same type with a unique color code driving. Past us here in any shape or form. They completely refuse to cooperate, I would call it. Even though we are in a region where it is in theory possible. It's kind of interesting that... here's one. No, it's just a generic color. We need a unique one. Generic. Oh, funny, all the other cars have unique ones, just not the ones we find here. And over there. We own that already. Also not unique. Maybe this guy doesn't have a unique one. I can't tell you, chat. But you see, we just switching through all the colors and it never works out. Oh yeah, you get the point. So this is how the twin tone works. You can get some color stuff that you can simply apply to your car, which is kind of cool, I think. Really just driving here past and hoping for something showing up. However, we just scanned a unique color for other cars. And yeah, they just added more to the game, so I'm very curious when it comes to this. I can't believe that we just did not find a single car of this type with a unique color code. Like, it's mind-boggling. Isn't it, chat? Oh, we got that one. I think it's easier to just call a car, but we have a unique color code for example... I mean, that thing is already unique. We have quite a few versions of the Type 66. I'm curious. Didn't I buy the normal version of the Quadra? Maybe they added this one later. Because some of the special versions of the cars are kind of not good at changing the colors. And sometimes the features deactivate, like the Javelina or something, or the Wingate or whatever. Those are, I think, not able to change the color properly. That's the reason why I just not just more Type 66 cars. Just hope we find one where I assume it's possible. Like this one here should work. Okay, interesting spawning here. But yeah, this one for example. In theory I should have scanned one unique. Yeah, we had the yellow one we've seen a moment ago. I scanned that, bought it, and now we can change to the same color. So that's pretty neat. And this feature in of itself, it's already in the game and they just expand on it further. And more cars are available, you have more unique colors to collect if you want. Some people like collecting stuff, so I guess that's a cool idea. And in theory you can just almost build the thing the way you want. Anyway, with the actual customization, so you don't have to use a predefined color code for it. You could just say, I want to go, I don't know, crazy, and then the car changes like this. Easy. So you can definitely have it look unique anyway. It's just a matter of do you want... You see a car the car design that you like, and you just use that one. What's in this regard at least somewhat interesting. I'm not sure if I have the car, to be honest, because it was also added later to the game using patches. There was a time I had all the cars in the game. I think most stuff is DLC stuff, which I'm not sure if I got all the cars for it. For Shion. Mitutani. Shion is the name of the car. But yeah, this one here, the Shion MZ2, that was previously in the game, but you couldn't make... there's now the MZ1. And also... this one, the MZT. And this is kind of... I'm not sure if there the color code worked, but there's a red version of this one here, basically, as Cabrio. So in this regard... Let me just see... Could be under S, Gion, yeah, we have all the different versions. We have this one. I think this they kind of added at some point. Just in blue. I think this one doesn't allow to use the color code functionality. Maybe it does. Because now it's red. Maybe I changed it and it memorized. No, here it says color code not available. I think I I must have changed it then.
Ready to roll or what?
No, this is the this is the how it actually looks, the car. And you can see if I hold Y, it doesn't work. I assume cars like these might be added then again, because this game here was in the base game when it released, as I remember, but you couldn't get it as a player. It was kind of unique. There were mods that added the car to the list of cars you could get. There's that. I'm not sure what's going on in this regard with the other car. We just bought the MZ1. That must be also must have been added to the game at some point. Yeah, here the color code even works. But you can't change... I'm not sure if it is a case or not. I think you can't change the look of the... you can't change the look of the car, the design of the car, basically. With the mods, you are definitely able to kind of switch around the model for it. But it's just a paint job. You just change the color but not the model, so you can't make out of a hardtop a cabrio and so on. For that you, I guess, still need the mod stuff installed, if that makes sense, chat. But yeah, curious about the new quests. So that's, in my opinion, definitely a highlight. Oh. No, all the raras are just showing up for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm very curious about how complex these new quests might be and stuff. But will be pretty interesting to see, chat.
Come on.
By the way, if you get enough damage with your car, you definitely lose the ability to change the color of the car, if that makes sense. It's definitely the other cars simply too rare to find it. Interesting, you have a limited amount of slots, so you have to kind of decide which color stuff you want to have scanned and which not. I have to admit, usually I use the modding stuff simply to change the colors of the car, not necessarily the crystal coat, with some exceptions. Like I like messing around with my Caliburn at times. We give him a different color, but beyond that I don't use it that much, so I was not going for hunting down specific color schemes and stuff like that. I think this is like a cool feature because it's available from the start. It's not very expensive to get a color if you really like it. It's 250 or something. So that is kind of affordable, if that makes sense. Don't have to worry too much about it. Whatever. However, yeah, it's a bit strange that the other version of this car doesn't have the color code feature. Talked about this, I think, in previous stuff, but yeah, this is definitely something. The AutoDrive option will be kind of fun to see. For a moment I thought, hey, that's actually a unique one. Now we can change the color of this one to a unique color set. Oops. Okay, weird things are happening here. But this one also possesses this particular ability. Actually not sure what the big differences are now between these. Reset the look. Okay, yeah, I admit the front stuff is maybe a bit
What's our move?
bit surprised that the the tires are different. Front is very similar. I don't know, chat. I was just curious that there was some more complex difference between these two. The MZ2 features an upgraded turbo, increased tire grip and a more robust drivetrain, making it the fastest in the Mitsutani collection. Most frequently seen in sports cars in Night City. Yeah, but beyond that, they look pretty similar. The only thing, I'm not sure if that's a matter of perspective. Funny. A matter of perspective. I think it is. It's just perspective. For a moment I thought, is this model a bit wider than the other one? But I don't think that's the case. But whatever. Getting distracted with all the stuff here. Let me know what you think about this, maybe also for the YouTube folks in the comments or so, if you have any questions or so. We will look into this tomorrow, so there might be another English stream where we just look into the new features, because that's, I guess, easier to do, or maybe look into them offline, record a YouTube overview video and give you my thoughts on it, or something like that. I'm not sure yet how I will do this, to be honest. But that kind of sums up the stuff here, chat, for the English folks. I know I haven't been on for quite some time, so it's always a bit unfortunate, I guess. But what can I say? always a bit busy. But the feature stuff that we will see tomorrow will be definitely a very interesting to see in this regard. Looking pretty much forward to it, especially to new content, like an actual new quest and so on. But yeah, having these cars, if the Cyber Vehicle Overhaul mod works again, hopefully it will, then I also might do some interesting modifications regarding the new cars. So that will be interesting to see, chat. my color code's actually funny. I have to admit they updated the effect of the color code thing a little bit. I've liked the old one a bit more, I have to admit. That's my only complaint I have. It'd be great if you could just choose which color code thing you get. So, is there anything left to say, chat? I'm not sure. Just checking by. I think there was like another shot of the new car here. Somewhere. Always hard to find these things. Yeah, okay, here we have actually the new car, the car I just showed you in the stream. You see, this now can change colors. That was not possible before. So they added this car also to the CrstalCoat. I speculated they did it. They actually showed it off in the actual stream. So that's pretty nice, chat. That's really nice. I think that's kind of the more one of the more popular cars in the game. Here we see the motorcycle color stuff here. Let's skip a bit ahead. And yeah, they said, yeah, here it is. They also talked a little bit about this new car. Forgot what name it has, but yeah, this one here. That's definitely new. I have to admit, I don't like the front tires again. Yeah, that is the Caliburn, I would assume. And it has Arasaka, so it makes sense. It's Yorinobu Arasaka Caliburn here. I here see it again. And this is the truck they also talked about, and it seems to have weapons and stuff, so that's also pretty awesome. Like the toxic rain weather setting there in the background. Not sure what kind of weapons it has. But yeah, a lot of graffitis and stuff on it. But yeah, nice to see some of the stuff we just talked about in game. That here, by the way, is the Wheeler from the DLC. There's machine guns on at the front. Also an Outlaw. We just had one, but it's car you get from in the DLC later. AutoDrive. Might see the machine guns in a moment. Or maybe not. Yeah, maybe here. Yeah. There, you see them, these two little holes in the middle. So combat with that one is possible. Okay, chat. For the English folks, I would say that's it with the showcase. Not much to say. It's pretty cool features, but they're pretty straightforward. We haven't learned anything, just very few things about the quest. Mostly how to get those quests, and nothing else. But it seems like the patch notes tell you, okay, this is how what you have to, these are the requirements to get this quest, and then you get this as a bonus. It does not count towards your 100% achievement progress, so there's that. Keep this in mind, which makes complete sense. As he said, changing the achievements afterwards might be very confusing and messing around with guides that were posted 5 years ago and stuff. But yeah, overall, that is to be expected, and I hope we have got some interesting new little quests here and there, just to get and unlock new stuff, which I find pretty cool. The AutoDrive is definitely a fun thing for a lot of people who like driving around through Night City. So in this regard, that's pretty cool. That's the AutoDrive. And then the cinematic camera on top as well, which is also pretty neat. I have a camera mod where you can change specific camera perspective. I hope it doesn't break the mod. Always very worried about mods breaking, but yeah, we will see how this here kind of works. Anyway, for the English folks, I'm out again because this is just here watching the stream and talking a little bit over it. I didn't talk that much because they just were talking constantly, giving information, which was pretty cool, but gave me a little opportunity to actually talk about stuff myself. I mean, I could have just paused or something, but yeah, that's basically it for the overview of what this new patch does, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's not as major as the Metro thing, though, or introducing the system of CrstalCoat at all. I just like that they expand now more on it. I really like the idea that they make it available for the lower end cars in the game as well, but as a little hacked version that was then released, and then it's a bit glitchy and so on. That's a pretty cool idea, in my opinion. I read also that it's possible that you can, they didn't talk about this in the stream, that you can talk to Johnny and say, hey, Johnny, I need to be alone for a moment, and then he will not appear for a couple of hours on your seat, which is, I think, cool. There's a mod for also doing that. You don't talk to him, you just go into the mod settings and say, don't appear that often anymore, and then you can change it back as well. So possibilities are definitely there to act or to get rid of Johnny for a moment. You can even tell him where he should appear on the back seat, if possible, or on the passenger seat next to the driver's seat, and so on. It's a lot of possibilities you have with these mods. You can even deactivate specific voice lines. Maybe you can show it here. The passenger, it's called, before we end the stream now completely. But yeah, here that's how the menu looks. Johnny spawn disable. You can just disable him. You can decrease or increase spawn rate. You can put a cooldown, longer repeat voice line cooldowns. And you can disable crash voice reactions. There are specific voice comments that you can deactivate with Johnny. That's a mod which is pretty cool, in my opinion. But yeah, back to the ending of the stream for the English folks, because I will continue with a bit of Cyberpunk stuff on the German stream. So for the German viewers, you can just keep in chat. Not much will change for you people. And for the others, I wish you a fantastic rest of the day, or good evening, a good night, and whenever you might watch this, just a good morning. Oh, I don't know. For some people from New Zealand, for them it's I guess almost noon right now. But yeah, it's pretty cool that we have new Cyberpunk content, and we might end up streaming a bit tomorrow here as well, but in English. Then later maybe we do the German stuff, or we will see how we do the transition between 2.2 and 2.3 for the German Let's Play that we're currently having on the German Twitch channel. So we will see how this works. Anyway, if you like this video and you're on YouTube, hey, I would appreciate if you pressed the like button, maybe subscribe if you haven't, and also feel free to leave a comment, tell me what you think about these new changes, and tell me about if there are other features that you might wish to be in the game for future patches. They said with the last one that it's the last patch, and now they did this patch, so who knows if CD Projekt continues adding stuff to the game. I hope so, would be pretty cool, though I guess annoying for the modding community to always adjust, but I guess having the game still supported is definitely a plus thing. So with all that said, thank you for the support, for your patience, and see you people next time. Goodbye.